Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. So do you wish you could rewind the clock back to a time when you were in shape and felt great? We're going to talk about compressing time to get results. Stay tuned. Hey, my friend, Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, the power of possibility, passion, and purpose. Glad to have you on here. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I don't know about you, but do you ever feel frustrated with how hard it is to get started or even starting over to work out? I think I talked about this on a couple shows ago. Man, it is a real big struggle. And I was just reflecting back on how hard the struggle was to just get started with exercise. I mean, super hard. And I've had a lot of conversations lately with people who are starting over, and of course, that seems like even more of a struggle. I think it's kind of like where you feel like you let yourself down and you know how hard the work is going to be to get started and get that momentum up again. But here I was. I remember seeing that infomercial at 4:30 in the morning, sitting there finishing my third bowl of cereal, that promise that I would be in shape in 90 days. And I remember thinking, I doubt it. No way that'll work. I mean, think of all the gadgets we've seen on infomercials, right? I mean, there's those 21-day, the 60-day, the 90-day programs. Do they even work? Such a gimmick, right? I'm being marketed to, but I'm drawn in as well because I'm seeing some results. Those must be actors of some sort. And won't people just go back to their old ways once they're done? Talk about the difficulty of starting over. Well, you might have thought the same thing. I'm sure that you've come across some infomercial or advertisement for a program or a product, especially in the health and fitness space. But here's one thing I do believe, that if you're going to work hard to achieve a goal, then you owe it to yourself to find the fastest, most effective way to get it done, right? So as I'm going through, I'm thinking, would this program even be worth trying? Would it even be worth following? I was looking at myself there, as I'm seeing these people on the infomercial, and they're all in shape, and they're sharing their story when they were out of shape. And I'm sitting there looking at my ever-expanding beer gut, and just reflecting back to a time when I was in shape, and it happened to be, I think this is maybe 2002 that I'm looking at this. So I'm reflecting back to the late 80s, the early 90s, and realizing, oh my gosh, in the past 13 years, I've added on about 50 pounds. Now, mind you, I didn't really go and weigh myself, but I knew about what I was at. And the thing is, most of the weight gain came on very sneaky-like, very subtle. It wasn't like all of a sudden I'm overweight, I'm out of shape. But I'm noticing, as I was a teacher, so I'm noticing as every year, got to bring out the dress clothes, get ready for the school year, I need to go out and buy new clothing. Did something happen over the summer? Was this a summer thing that I was just binging? I don't know. It just seems sneaky. So every year the clothing sizes are getting a little bit larger. So I'm considering, should I buy the XL size? Should I buy the XXL size? I mean, baggy is in, right? And so that's what I think many of us do. We buy things. There's the elastic waistband stuff. There's the baggy clothing. And so we hide this stuff underneath this clothing, out of sight, out of mind. We're not feeling totally out of shape or totally overweight unless we're looking in the mirror, or we're feeling a little sluggish, or we happen to try on a suit or an outfit to get ready for a wedding or to dress up and nothing fits. So I'm thinking, could I undo 13 years of poor eating, definitely lack of exercise, just poor habits in general, lazy habits? Could I undo that in 90 days? Well, I knew that I would be happy if I could even just get close. Could I turn it back? So I use this as a kind of a little test thing. And I ordered the product, and of course when I read the materials, they wanted you to work out 6 days a week. I wasn't ready to commit. I wasn't ready to make it a priority. So I sat on it for another year, expanded my waistline another year, but I ended up having to say goodbye to conventional wisdom and surrender myself. Just surrender my self-limiting belief to what I was hanging on to, and just had to show up one day at a time. I had to make a decision, and you can make a decision very, very quickly. I think a lot of times people think, oh, I've really got to think a long time and weigh all the consequences and think about it. And no, when you make a decision, it's very, very quick. So here I am. I'm like, okay, I will just trust the process. I'll follow the trainer on the video, and trust that they're going to guide me to victory. And I had to set aside the self-defeating mind chatter, the lame excuses, the lack of confidence that I struggle with through many exercises, because there were a lot of times that I was about ready to call it quits. I was too tired. I had to twist an ankle. These exercises, they're too hard. I'm not seeing the results. All that stuff just going through my head. And those things really had no place in my life. They only served to compromise my performance. They attempted to convince me into quitting. And it really, if I let that sit with me, it would have prolonged the amount of time that it would have taken me to get results. Now, here was the key. I wanted to see results in 90 days. Could I compress time, make the most of everything? So my goal is to get in shape. Why on earth would I put that off as long as possible? And yeah, I know that being healthy, getting in shape, it's a lifelong journey, right? But it shouldn't take you forever to take the action and to get stronger, at least getting stronger. I knew that I might not visibly see, get a workout done and see 6-pack abs the next day, but I really wanted to compress time and accelerate results. And following the plan that was designed, that was the roadmap to do it. I tried to do it my own way, and it didn't happen. I think that happens a lot of times when people go to the gym. They try to figure it out their own way. They've seen some stuff. They've seen people across the gym, and you try your own thing, and you're not seeing results. And then you feel defeated, and then those French fries are there, and you're driving home, and oh my gosh, there's Culver's custard. What's the use? I'm not getting results. And so that ends up happening. But no, I wanted to compress time, 90 days. I've tried to create my own plan, and I've gotten lost so many times. So, and I'm the type of person who tends to get scattered and distracted easily. I work hard on that to not be that person, but it happens. So I have to set up systems around it. And I needed to get my mindset right and make the decision to commit. I was tired of being a dabbler in my health and fitness, and I saw diabetes on the horizon. I just saw the pattern. I knew what was happening with some of my family members, and I was doing the same. So I needed to adopt new habits. And my new mantra and mindset became, and had to become, I am the type of person who shows up for my workouts. Because that was the key. I needed to show up. It wasn't I'm the type of person that got done with my workouts, because I could easily talk myself out of it and never finish it. I had to be the type of person who showed up for the workouts. And that was the commitment I made. I said, even if I didn't feel like it, I've got to give it at least 15 to 20 minutes. If after 15, 20 minutes, I wasn't feeling it, okay, I could let it go. But I had to show up for that. And almost every single time I finished the workout. So I embraced the following behaviors to make it happen. I embraced focus. I embraced accountability, consistency, because I wanted to see an X on that calendar, discipline, and perseverance. So that's what I did. I put an X on the calendar. I know it sounds silly, but that's all I wanted to do. I showed up. Big old X. So I put an X on the calendar, and after each workout I got done, and I became obsessed with running as many X's together for a full 90 days. Now, I know there was a built-in rest day each week, and sometimes I adjusted those, but I put an X. I did my rest day. Okay, I followed the plan. I avoided behaviors that would keep me from my goals, such as indecision, excuses, blaming, procrastination, worry, having a low self-esteem. Those are the things I just avoided. I made sure, first thing I did right when I got home, because I set up a system for myself. I said, first thing when I get home, let the dogs out, go back, get my gym clothes on, get my workout done. Then I didn't sit down. I didn't ease into a snack. I didn't unwind. I didn't let the excuse of I had this really long day and this long 1 hour commute derail me from this. I didn't talk myself into saying, oh, you just deserve this little stuff. I committed. I wanted to compress time because those things would sabotage my chance of success. It would create frustration. It would lead me down an unhealthy path. So I ended up finishing the 90 days. Now, I'm not a person that goes and weighs myself, but I did take pictures every 30 days. I did that actually for a couple of years. And that blew me away because while I couldn't visibly see the changes in the mirror necessarily, I noticed it adjusting in how my clothing fit. My belt loop notches. I had to go and buy a new belt after 90 days. The pictures blew me away enough to say, let's keep this going. I quickly learned that I had developed new habits, but I needed to be vigilant in moving forward. I did not want to go back. And I almost did. I went to slack off because I'm like, I only want to work out just a few minutes, just 30 or less. And that wasn't it. And there was no way I was going back. I did not want to turn into the old ways. I didn't want to get frustrated. I didn't want to put myself in the situation to have to start over again. I know that happens a lot with a lot of people. I know it might happen to you. And once again, I said, you've got to be vigilant. Life is going to throw you curves. There are going to be new opportunities. There's going to be other distractions. And I'm one who can easily get distracted. So I've got to set things up and say, you know what? This is my priority. I'm putting myself first every day. And I still continue to this day. So guess what? I compressed time. The 90 days I got done, I went in and I weighed myself. I was back to the weight that I wanted to be 13 years prior. And I got to thinking, this was a 13-week program. By showing up once a week, every week represented going back 1 year. Now, I don't know if that happens for everybody, but it was just kind of one of those remarkable things. 13-week program, took off 13 years of weight gain, back to where I'm at. Now, let's see where we can go from there. So when I see a program that's 21 days, 60 days, 90 days, 100 days to complete, I dig in and go. Time is going to pass anyway. I just dig in and go and don't overthink it. Just show up, do that day, follow the plan, then repeat the next day. Just do today. Follow the plan. As I approach the end of a program that I'm doing, I'm always thinking, what's next? Is it a new program? Is it doing another round? It's definitely not, hey, I'm taking a break. I'll come back to this maybe a few months later. Doesn't work that way. Man, the body wants to keep going, keep moving, keep being healthy. And it's very easy to feel it that way. I love momentum. I love variety. I don't consider taking a break. I don't consider backing off. I've experienced complacency and laziness, and that only leads to setbacks and frustration for me. If life gets busy, it goes sideways or has obstacles, I figure out a way to make myself the priority, put myself first with my health and fitness, because that, my friend, enables me, and it can enable you too, to handle life's challenges a lot better. So let me ask you, how do you approach your fitness program, or your health and nutrition program? What's the mindset that you use to fuel yourself? What struggles do you face, and how do you overcome them? I find that mindset is huge, and over the years, I have developed some systems that I use in the morning that really helps propel me for the rest of the day. And so I put that all down in a free cheat sheet that you can download at morningsuccesshabits.com and use them, implement them. I'm shortening your learning curve here by putting it all together and just bam, you can apply them or pick and choose the ones that will work for you and then add on over time. morningsuccesshabits.com. It's all yours. I hope these tips helped you, my friend. Thanks so much for being a subscriber and getting over to the podcast app and giving an honest rating and review. You absolutely rock. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.